to like have to deal with.
Dude. Whoa. Sorry. My dog.
It sounded like you were actually.
It's the elves.
Like,
Did it look like I was moving?
you looked like you were, I don't know, concerned about what was happening. Like there was an earthquake. You're like, whoa.
Oh, my dog is he's
kind of
half
dog you
pit bull, half American bulldog.
Oh,
And so
we
when
like those here.
Strong.
when he decides he wants to sit somewhere, he just
I'll wait till you leave to talk about pit bulls then.
oh, that's it? Okay.
I've just seen so many horror movies, or horror videos. I don't want to talk about it. It's not a good topic. I bet your dog's wonderful.
He's a good dude.
He's one of the good ones.
His name's Indiana Jones. He hasn't bit anyone yet.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. But you three
I mean,
are
he's tried.
all welcome over anytime.
We can change
he
that.
tries. But,
I listen.
Do some
I'm not
DMT, hang
saying
out with
he
the pit bull.
wouldn't bite you. I'm just saying he hasn't.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
he's a
to
good dude,
clarify,
man.
My whole thought process on pit bulls is that there are like 30 different breeds of dogs that are aggressive and will bite you, but there's only a handful that can make it count, and that's just one of them.
Here's the deal, man. A dog is as aggressive as his owner makes him.
You say that, however,
Not
a golden
true.
retriever will automatically go pick up a fucking bird and bring it back to you with no. A dachshund will automatically try to burrow into a hole and get that badger out because dachshund means badger hound in German, and a pit bull wants to kill.
No.
Yeah, Josh, you got to know. I've had dogs since I think I got my first dog when I was like 6 years old. I have never not had a dog during that entire period of time. I'm a dog guy. We have had lots of wonderful dogs, wonderful in all their own ways. And one dog that wanted to murder all the time. All the time he was mean. Kyle's a dog person. Kyle came over for, call it a long weekend, 3 days or something. On day 3, he's like, we're friends now, right? You know, I've been warming up to you. I've been loving on you. He didn't make friends with other people. He just wanted to kill and murder all the time. He's wearing a muzzle. And I think Kyle's thought was,
this wasn't a pit bull, by the way.
it was a Great Dane. And he's like, can we take this muzzle off at some point? Like, it's, no. And he wanted to kill Kyle on day 3, even though he's a dog person.
I don't have a Great Dane.
We
you have a pit bull for heaven's sake.
Yeah, man.
You don't have.
Listen,
He's like, I don't have an AK. I've got an M4.
This is the third pit I've had. Let me tell you something. The only dog I ever had that was aggressive and tried to bite people was my Saint Bernard. He tried to kill humans, and he was supposed to be the nice one. Man, my last pit bull was scared of squirrels. This motherfucker wouldn't go in the yard when this big squirrel was out there. The squirrel chased him into the house.
So my argument
The biggest pussy. And this guy here, come on, man. He's just got a
saying
giant.
all pit bulls are bad. I'm saying some dogs are bad, and it's not the owner. We hired a trainer to come in and teach him to be less of an asshole, and teach us to teach him to be less of an asshole. We took him to the kennel to socialize him with other dogs when we weren't going anywhere. He just had to live at the kennel. We took him for walks around the yard. He always wanted to murder.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
What do you think about Dalmatians? Because they bite more people. They're the dumbest, and they bite people, and they're dumb.
And
they're
very
like
inbred.
Dumb animals. Exactly. Pit bulls, man. Might there be a pit bull that just is trying to kill? Of course. There was a Great Dane. There have been.
Would you like to see a few thousand videos?
Some golden retrievers.
Ever been an aggressive
bite?
Maybe.
I watched a video yesterday. This man is in the street. He has a small dog, little like yappy dog. There are 3 pit bulls killing it. They're killing it, and he's on the ground trying to save his dog. He's crying. He's screaming for someone to help, and he's got his little dog. And these pit bulls are all locked onto it, and they're having a great time. And nobody will help because they're killing his little dog. His little dog's already dead at this point, but he won't let them have it to tear it apart. And the cops finally show up, and they're beating the pit bulls with batons, and the pit bulls will not release. And so they start executing the pit bulls one by one with a handgun. And one bullet won't do it. They still want to kill the dog that badly. Pop, pop, pop. Pit bull's still killing the little dog. Pop, pop, pop. Pit bull's dead. Pop, pop, pop. Pitbull's dead. Pop, pop, pop. Pitbull's dead. They have to kill them all because they're so like they have such a prey like drive. They're so focused on killing that little dog that this guy had.
But again, dude, you're telling a story where if these dogs are wild or loose or in a backyard and they're bred like that, or they like, that's what's going to happen. And people don't breed Goldens or whatever's to do it because they're not as efficient, right? You would breed, if you wanted a violent dog, that's the one you would make violent. It's the same with a Rottweiler or whatever. You're not going to, you can make any dog angry and want to bite other people, period. It's how the owner trains that. Every little dog I try to pet tries to kill me.
That's
Every
true.
single fucking one.
I have a theory that ties into your owner theory. Because like little dogs, I would say, are more likely to go to the bathroom in the house. Why? Because the owners tolerate it.
Oh no, not for me. To me, it's just the Napoleon complex all over the place, you know. But I look, man, I'm not saying that you can't pull up a video with a pit bull being violent. You, of course, can. But what I'm telling you is it's just like a kid, man. Who's raising it? Who's raising it? That's it. Who's raising that kid? And that some kid's going to be an asshole and some kids aren't, you know?
It's not one or the other, really. It's a mix of both. Like Kyle talking about how the dachshund like is going to instinctively do what it was bred for. Like, yeah, a dog bred to fight other dogs is going to be more likely to be a dog that fights other dogs, I would imagine.
If you guys want, I knew this wasn't a good topic because obviously you love your dog and I'm sure your dog's sweet as a button. But for anybody who wants to do a little bit of research, the place that I like to go is a little subreddit called, and this is the subreddit of the week, of course. Oh. It's called Ban Pitbulls. They're right down the middle over there.
Yeah, they seem like they're doing some even keeled reporting.
They're right down the middle. The number one meme. Hang on, let me show you the number one like post over there right now. It's again right down the middle. Let me open this up. Copy it on over. Get access.
Oh, is it that collage showing all the dogs doing what they're bred to do, and it goes genetics, 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 and then the pit bull fighting other pit bull goes, it's all in how you raise them.
It's actually this one right here. I just linked. Josh, can you show that one?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Or Zach, I'm sorry. Zach, could you show that one?
Let me see. I'm excited for this.
The funny thing is the header for this subreddit is all people who have been killed by pit bulls.
Jesus Christ.
The entire header, and it's not like 3 people. It's like 15 people who have all been murdered by pit bulls.
That is ridiculous.
Dude, that dog's doing tricep push downs.
By the way, that dog,
that dog does dips with a belt weight.
That dog looks like Vin Diesel. Holy shit, that dog is jacked. Is that his chest or are those titties? What has he got?
Yeah, those are delts.
He's got defined delts.
Yeah, he's mid-dip right now.
Dude, that thing needs to
takes a step forward, you see his other 4 nipples, which is hilarious.
I mean, when you understand that he's only eating the child to hit his macros, it's understandable.
By the way, why do I feel like he's standing up?
Yeah, I feel like
he's on 2 feet. And you know what the best part is? We all know he's wearing Timberlands.
This dude right here for sure is walking out of the tunnel right now.
That dog wears black Air Force Ones, or I bet my life on it. I guarantee it. Some of you'll get that joke. That one's narrow.
That is a whole subreddit of banned pit bulls. And you know what? This doesn't seem biased.
No, not at all. It's right down the middle, like I said.
Right down the middle. Nobody lies with stats. It's math. You can't lie with them easily.
Yeah, no, listen. There's no doubt that they have definitely checked both sides of the coin with their reporting.
Remember that baby the pit bull raped to death?
Wait, raped a baby?
Yeah, raped a baby
and then lit
death.
it on fire. The pit bull had a lighter.
No one said they're not smart.
I'm not making that story up.
Wait,
There's no way a pit bull
really raped.
A pit bull did not rape a child to death. There's no way.
Whenever I say something like this, nobody believes me. This is where I try to do like, do you want to bet? Can I make some money off this?
I'll let Woody field that one.
Woody's Googling right now. He can't bet.
No,
Hey,
I don't know if the baby died.
that is.
Okay, are you serious?
Oh my gosh. The
Wait,
police
what?
have said there is no human involvement in the sexual assault of this toddler. It's almost too bizarre to believe a pit bull sexually assaulted a 2-year-old boy.
So the dog raped the young child that was crawling on the floor.
That was Bill Cosby's dog.
And that was little Cos, and it raped the young boy. And for those who don't know what a dog's penis looks like, it has this big bulbous knot on the base of it that makes it lock into the female, so that the semen stays in her longer, and it makes it more likely that they'll propagate. Anyway, that locked into the infant, the toddler, if you will. And so now they are attached, cock to ass. And of course, the parents discover this because the kid's not enjoying it. So he's screaming.
Here. So the mother screams, "The dog is raping my baby." I tried to get the dog away from the baby. The dog was already inside the baby. When the baby was finally
Is this a Meryl Streep movie?
He was visibly sick. The boy was vomiting and bleeding. This is getting sad.
Jesus
the baby
Christ.
was rushed to the Women and Children's Hospital where he underwent reconstructive surgery.
What's the date on this article?
This is yesterday.
2007? Let me double check. Yeah, 2007.
You know what the best part about this is, Woody?
What is the best part? What is the good part of
This?
This
isn't
story?
even the dog rape of a toddler I was referring to. This is like hammer murders in St. Louis. There's a rash of them. So the one I talked about, it was locked into the child, and when the parents tried to do something, the dog took off running, dragging the toddler by his asshole through the house. I love Taylor's reaction to that. That's my favorite. That's the best part of the night. Taylor's reaction
horrific.
To that. He went,
being dragged around by your asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, don't act like that's never happened to you before.
Not with teeth. Oh,
yeah.
I thought that you were like, when you said that pit bull rape story, and I said there's no way, I was like, oh shit, I'm supposed to agree with them and act like this is a real thing right now.
You're supposed to yes and.
Yeah. And no, I didn't. You didn't have to yes and. It's in the article.
Hey, in reading these stories, I found another pit bull that saved a teenage girl from being raped. Apollo the hero dog. Heroes comes in all shapes and sizes, and some even have 4 legs. It goes on.
Well, there you go. Right down the middle. That's us here at PKA, okay? Yes, occasionally a pit bull will rape your child, but occasionally save your child from rape.
That's true.
Two sides of the coin, folks. Two sides of
And
the
you
coin.
know what? Sometimes they just eat twice a day and take a couple of walks.
Sometimes
I think that's probably the most common.
Very, very rarely.
I would say that's the most common thing that they do. But just like other dogs, maybe there are a few outliers.
And
There's
there
not a
are
subreddit called pit bulls being cool and chilling in my house.
I mean, there might be. We don't
this
know.
is
hard to say
chilling for sure.
Dude, this story. Then attacker
Now, I will
pushed down
say,
this
Kyle,
teenage girl and tried to pull her pants down. The playful pup turned protective and intervened, chomping down on the subject's legs while he ran away. He was all happy, like he didn't know what he did. He was all happy. He just wanted to run. Like the dog had a great day.
I mean, we're like here's a positive story. Pitbull swims 5 miles out to sea to bide a child. Now that one doesn't seem real.
I don't know, man. Keep reading. Let's find out.
It's a good swimmer.
Is it on the Onion?
Oh my god.
You never know. Maybe some of these children the pit bulls are killing were like Hitlers or something of the future.
Right?
Maybe when they're not in our DMT dreams.
You guys are clutching your purses a little too tight on this. I'm just saying. I mean,
when we're not talking to people who own pit bulls, I have no opinion. I don't care.
I'm actually a member of a hate group, so it is very close to my heart. We burn tiny crosses in Pitbull's yards.
Tiny little
True.
crosses of milk.
Yeah. Tiny little Pitbull side crosses.
Guys, I got a jet.
All
We've
right.
enjoyed you.
Yeah, it was great. You got to come on soon.
I saw a really awful story today. I don't even need to read it. I remember it was like 70-year-old man comes home to find his wife killed by family dog. Like this guy comes home and his wife is being drugged through the backyard dead by their son's pit bull. It has murdered her. It has mutilated her body severely. And then the police show up and the dog attacks them, so they have to kill it. And then the article went on to say that the reason the pit bull was at their house was because the son died 2 weeks prior in a motorcycle crash. So it's been a rough week for that family. You could say. And when I read that this morning, like I was having my coffee and I was like, things are going great here compared to there. Holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
Things are going great here compared to there.
Things are going great everywhere compared to there. There's people in Ukraine right now like at least my mother wasn't eaten by a dog. Like,
did you hear that story from America about the pit bull? Pretty fucked. Bang bang bang.
We should send them support.
Yeah.
I wonder we can send them.
they're donating to that poor man.
Can we send them law missiles for dogs?
Dude,
Javelin, some fucking hellhound.
like
All pit bulls should be javelined. That should be what you have to do.
that's rough, man. That's a rough one.
Do you guys know any nice pit bulls? I have known nice.
I've seen
not
them.
for a long time, but like I've met nice pit bulls who would just usually female and absolutely just loving dogs. And it made me like I wonder, like a dog only has to be fucking crazy for 3 minutes for it to be a problem.
30 seconds for a pit bull.
Yeah. And I just like these people that have these loving, sweet, wonderful pit bulls. Don't you worry? Don't you worry that it's gonna go bananas?
Did
It's
you
all in the
did I
They'll
see
be like, it's how you raise the dog. It's like, really? Because that dog that was bred for generations to point at birds just does it. Like,
did I
like
say
that one
last-
that wants to dig, it just digs. It's like instinctual now. Yours is one that wants to
my
fight.
dog is made to dig. They're apparently bred to dig in and kill badgers, and that fucker just
Dachshunds.
ruined my garden.
the
Yeah.
Badger Hound? Did I?
Those are cute little dogs.
What was the other thing about pit bulls I was going to say?
Did it kill someone else? That other than that poor little girl?
I mean, probably. It wasn't a little girl. It was a 70-year-old woman. It was like an old lady.
Oh, I thought you said 7.
No, 70. It was like a 70-year-old couple. Their son had been
The
killed
dog
in a
was
motorcycle crash. You thought a 7-year-old?
I thought the dog killed a 7-year-old.
It killed an old lady, unfortunately.
That is.
Did I say the thing on here last week?
It
Yeah.
is. Yeah,
That dog knocked tens of months off her life.
It would have been. Yeah.
Come on, she was spry.
Not enough.
She was on heroin anyway. Fuck her.
Callback. I like it.
I don't know if
I
I
mean, she
said
clearly
it.
wasn't very spry.
I don't know if I said it on here or not last week or the week before or not, but I had this like thought that came to me that black guys with pit bulls are like rednecks with big trucks. Did I say that
yeah,
on here?
you did say that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Because
You think so?
I think that guy's got something to prove, right? Like what do you need that big fucking scary ass dog for? Like you're compensating for something. There's a black guy that
I
walks
feel
his
like
dog.
Kyle had an idea that's
I
maybe not
did.
as brilliant as he thinks. Like,
Oh, it's
guys,
so brilliant.
hear me out.
Oh, it's so brilliant.
No, I'm
Dogs are
in.
like trucks.
No, it absolutely is. This guy's
living
he's the same little dick redneck who's like, I'm gonna get a big truck. My boys are gonna be impressed. It's the same thing as the black guy who's like, yeah, look how big his fucking head is. Look at it. He could kill a kid in like a second. Like that even. If I look away for a moment, your kid's gonna be dead. That's how cool I am.
Yeah,
Like-
he'll be a pile of viscera.
It's got a Hemi. Like it's the same shit. It's the same shit. That guy's not hard at all. There's a black guy in my neighborhood. Maybe I mentioned this last week too, but I saw him again walking this little toy like schnauzer thingy, like a little yappy girl dog. It's had a pink ribbon in its hair, and the hair was
Aw.
like stuck up. I swear to God, it's got pink boots, and it walks kind of cute because of the boots.
That is
Like it picks
adorable.
its feet up.
Yeah,
that
it
guy's
is bad.
hard as fucking nails.
Oh hell yeah!
I got a guy who's hard
He's
as
not
nails. So
compensating for anything.
I have a black friend. He's jacked, so strong, like stronger than any of us. Like he was a professional football player, you know, just super jacked. And he had a pit bull. And a guy's like, hey, I see you got a pit bull. You want to fight pit bulls? And he's a dog lover. And he's like, no, but maybe you and I should fight, huh? Maybe you and I should. Are you the kind of guy that fights dogs? Because I'm the kind of guy that fights people. Let's fight. That guy's badass too.
I like that. Yeah. No, and look, that's the kind of guy who could probably control one of those things. What I really hate is when I see like someone who's not physically capable of reining that dog in. I was walking to get pizza. I don't know. It's been 3 months ago or something like that. Walking from an apartment like to a pizza place nearby, and some guy has this terrifying pit bull. If he let go of the leash, he'd kill me. That's what the situation was. The dog was like, "Arr, arr, 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 arr," because I walked by, and its head is 30% of its fucking mass. It's so goddamn big. It looks like that enemy from fucking Doom. That's just a mouth.
Yeah, and as Anthony Cumia says, that steam shovel jaw that pit bulls have.
Yeah, I fucking hate them. I hate their fucking docked ears. I hate those big wide jowls.
They're fucking ugly.
I hate those eyes. On Reddit, there's like two groups. There's the people who call them velvet hippos, and the people who call them shit bulls.
Wait, they think velvet hippo is complimentary?
Yeah, that's what they call
a bunch
pit
of
bulls.
retards.
They call them velvet hippos. I think it's a subreddit.
They know hippos are dangerous, right? It's like tongue in cheek, making fun of people who like are like.
No,
oh,
I think that they just think they're big, cute, smooth, gray things. But no, I don't. I think you should have to have a license to get one, and I don't think felons should be allowed to have a pit bull, and that's coming from a felon.
You know, that's how we know to take it serious.
Yeah. They shouldn't let me have one.
No.
My friend has a massive Rottweiler.
Deadly weapon.
My friend's got a massive Rottweiler, and people just avoid him like when they're walking their dog, and it is the nicest fucking dog. Like it plays with my dog. You've seen my dog. He's tiny, and he just runs around and plays all day. Never had a violent moment. But people like cross the road when they're walking their dog near him because they're just terrified of it. They're like,
oh yeah, I do that with my little dogs. Like if they're around and there's like a pit bull or like some big, German Shepherd or something, any like dog that's like a little more aggressive.
You
I'll
think they
just
can eat them.
Pull them to the side. Yeah, because it's like I would really prefer that person be like, oh, they don't know that Trixie's a sweetie, and it's got like a fucking kid's fingernail in its teeth. But in reality, it's like I'd rather you be offended. I'm not. All it takes is that dog snapping for 2/10 of a second.
They'll crush your little dog.
And Teddy is dead. Like that's all it would take, and it's not worth the risk.
That's one thing that I hate when I'm walking my dog is people that have their dog and they don't have recall on their dog. If their dog's really nice, they're just like, oh, it's fine. He can walk off the leash. But if they won't come back, like if I'm walking a dog that's dangerous and that dog just runs up, yeah, fine, that dog's not on a leash, but my dog might be dangerous to other dogs. Yeah. Like if they can't recall it, that dog's fucked. And then that's apparently my dog's fault. Like, but it's not going to happen with my dog because he's like a fucking football. But, it's it could happen if you have a bigger dog. So it's.
Yeah. And I love pretty much all dogs.
Trust me, we don't walk them. So
nope.
You just let them run around in fucking 10-acre yard.
We have an electric fence, and they know exactly what's up now, so they go out there and gallop. They move, but I was just joking. But we don't walk them. They never leave the property.
I was like, I don't know why. I guess I was in the mood to like read something depressing, but I started reading about like the animals with the lowest lifespans, and the Burmese mountain dog only lives to like 5.5. And that made me sad. But then I got more into it and I was like, well, what's the shortest living thing ever from like birth to death? It's a mayfly. Wow. And they don't even evolve. Like, apparently they're like the oldest species out there. So their approach to like
rapid
propagating the species is working very well. But they live less than 24 hours, their entire lifespan, and they're not evolved with mouths because they don't live long enough to need food or water. Like they just live, everything they need's already inside, like a plug and play thing, and then they just die.
Yeah, I don't like that. But even more so, all pit bull owners.
Well, then I'm dead.
You have a pit bull.
So I have a Staffy, which is in all the pit bull bans, Staffies are banned as well. Like Delta just banned them as service animals, which is fucking insane, by the way. The idea that like
Yeah, what if the
Literally
service your
someone
dog provides is murder?
It's, I had this. It's funny.
Protects my drug money.
They're seeing eye dogs as well. The reason they actually make really good service dogs is because they're incredibly human loyal, and that's actually why they became fighting dogs, because they would do anything to please their owner, even if it meant fighting another dog.
He killed a baby once for me.
So yeah.
No mercy.
God, your accent is so perfectly you right now. So. Yeah, like I have a Staffordshire Bull Terrier, and he's like this little 30-pound dude, and he's basically like a potato with feet, and he is now banned by Delta and the whole story behind that, by the way. So the Pitbull attack that happened on Delta was there was a support dog, and by the way, there are plenty of people who do the bullshit untrained emotional support garbage, but like so they had this dog, and the flight attendant was like, "Oh, can I pet your dog?" And they were like, "No." And she was like, "Oh, come on." And they said no 3 times, and then she still went to pet the dog, and then of course the dog attacked her.
Of course it
Was the
did.
dog muzzled?
The dog was not muzzled,
Obviously
but like
not.
but a dog will no, the dog just went like this to her a whole lot, just like what? No. Obviously, but the thing is that like, look, when people come up to me on the street and they're like, "Oh, can I pet your dog because it looks like a stuffed animal?" I'm always like, no, because if my dog doesn't like that person, there's going to be a fucking incident. And like, why should I force that on my dog?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I have a pet cobra, and I tell people keep 5 feet away. That's his strike range, and you'll be fine. And the other day, this guy walked into the 5-foot strike range. He's dead.
Yeah, I tried to bring a
What a
bucket
bigot.
of my emotional support poison dart frogs, and they said, "You can't bring this, sir." And I said, "It gives me glee to know that I could, at any point, if I get too scared of this turbulence, I can just reach my hand in and it's all over. It gives me emotional support."
Taylor in the chat saying, rebranding Pitbulls as Staffordshire Terriers. So the actual name of the breed, so there's Staffordshire Bull Terrier, which is like the British pit, and then there's American Staffordshire Terrier, which is what a pit bull is. But like most of the time people say pit bull, they mean, oh, it has a face that looks like a pit bull. Like that's
this
all
thing
they
that's
mean.
in the picture looks like a pit bull.
That's personally what I mean, and all of the dogs who have faces that look like a pit bull, quote unquote, should die,
like,
and their
so
owners
like lab
first.
mixes, for instance.
If the lab is mixed with a pit bull, then yes.
No,
Yes.
no,
I don't,
there's-
if
You've never seen that shit online when they're like, which is the pit bull, and like you have to try to choose.
The one
and
that
it-
attacked someone.
The one with
20
the
minutes
baby in
earlier.
its mouth.
The one with blood dripping from its fangs.
you guys.
the one being led by that muscular black man with the wife beater.
How you like it now, Steve? Now that you're on the list, huh? You don't like it so
Yeah.
much? You and
Look,
my
I've been on
wife
the
are
list for a
goners.
couple
Hey,
of
the
things,
fact
okay?
that like 95% of dog attacks that kill other dogs are pit bulls has nothing to do with the fact that they were raised to fight other dogs in pits.
Okay, person who got your statistics from Pitbull
From dogattack.org.
whatever it is.
Dogattack.org.
Yeah, the actual. I didn't know you agreed with PETA so much. The actual
Little common ground.
Yeah, the actual statistics are that when places ban pit bulls, dog bites do not go down. The reason why there are a lot of dog bites is because it's a very common breed. And so, like, Ontario, for instance...
Is it as common as a Labrador?
I don't know that offhand.
It's
You
not.
know it's not.
Is
No.
it as
I
common
honestly don't know that offhand. But breeds that bite more, smaller breeds bite more often.
I believe that, yeah. And I
well,
believe that
yeah.
might also have to do with the owners. Like, because like we have Great Danes in my family. And
Yeah.
if those dogs show even a hint of aggression, like it's a big thing. We bring in trainers and like, you know, because it's not something to be fucked around with. But when your 6-pound dog does, people let it go.
Yeah, people think it's adorable. They're like, oh, did
Yeah.
you get stabbed by a small knife? It's adorable. Who's bleeding? Who's bleeding? It's the fact. Look, the fact is that pit bulls are a very common dog in lower income communities. And so when you talk about the fact that like, oh, they bring in trainers and then they work with the dog, it's like, well, not everybody has that luxury, Mr. Cisco. So like, but it is a great deal about training and about making your dog, because there are dogs with good temperaments and there are dogs with bad temperaments.
What if I want to get a panther?
What if I need
panther
an
and-
emotional support
Are there any
box
panthers
jellyfish in
with
an
good-
aquarium on my
Are
next
there any
flight?
panthers that pass temperament tests?
Well, the panthers don't have to pass a dog temperament test. They have to pass the panther temperament test.
cat
Basically, if they don't
temperament
kill the
test.
person on
It's a
site.
lower standard.
Oh, good. Much
Right,
lower
absolutely.
standards.
A review of 82 dog bite cases at a level 1 trauma center where the breed of the dog was identified concludes that attacks by pit bulls are associated with higher morbidity rates, higher hospital charges.
They
and a
also
higher
rape
risk of
more
death.
babies.
Where so I'm curious, what's the source on this?
Dogbitelaw.com.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not polemic at all.
Can you use
there is
smaller
a
words?
greater-
Can we
What's the
agree?
agenda behind saying, like, who's out there like, these goddamn dogs are gonna? It's
PETA
like, well,
is. Do you know about that shit? PETA, the head of PETA has gone on record being like, we want to. I mean, aside from the fact that PETA has said that they want to basically kill all stray dogs in a very like Batman kind of way, in a very like we must destroy Gotham to save it, like that kind of bullshit. They have a quest to kill all pit bulls. Like the founder of PETA doesn't like the breed.
We have common ground now. This is pretty great.
I thought
like
the
the
only
breed.
thing that I had in common with PETA were in thinking that kill shelters are a good idea.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, PETA's kill rate is 90%.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I got followed by the communication director for PETA on Twitter. And so I was like, hey, while I have you here, couple questions. And I asked her, I was like, why is your kill rate 90%? And she was like, oh, well, a lot of dogs that come to us are last chance dogs. And I was like, yeah, there are a lot of shelters like that. And their kill rate is like 20%. Why is yours 90? And she kept like repeating that same thing. And I was like, why is there footage of you of PETA taking dogs off people's porches and killing them? Why the fuck is that a thing? And then she's like, well, I don't speak for PETA. I'm like, your profile says communications director. Who the fuck are you? And then she blocked me. So.
Well, I don't like it if they are dog napping dogs just to get a little extra murder in for the day. That's a little
They
fun.
sure are.
Hey, here's something, and it sounds like it's from some bullshit study. Children's Hospital of Philadelphia in 2009,
Okay.
the plastic and reconstructive surgery.
Good, you found
5-year review found that almost 51% of attacks were from pit bulls, 9% were from Rottweilers, and 6% were from mixes of these two breeds. A whopping 2/3 of hospital dog attack injuries involved just two breeds, pit bulls and Rottweilers.
Yeah. They are bigger dogs. They are tougher dogs. When
No,
they
but
do
like
bite,
you don't.
it's more serious.
Great Danes aren't on here. Greyhounds aren't on here. Like these dogs were bred. The reason they're called pit bulls, they were bred as dog fighting dogs. Like, they are more likely to harm people.
And that's why it needs to like the owner needs to be a better, more conscientious owner. Like, but if you have someone who has trained their dog, there are also there's also a ton of anecdotal evidence of pit bulls saving people's lives. Like, you have that as well.
Anecdotal.
By killing someone.
Yeah, by killing someone else, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, by taking a fucking baby out. Anyway, so
there's also statistics of pit bulls raping babies. So it's a
Yeah,
mixed bag
look.
with the babies.
I
look,
really
I
don't
glossed
think
over
pit
the
bulls
first
rape
time you
babies.
said it.
How much you want to bet pit bull? I've got articles.
Well,
of pit
nothing
bulls
at
raping
all
babies.
anymore. You seem so confident.
That's
You're
right.
either very right or very good at bluffing.
Google
That's-
search this
that's
right
actually-
now. Pit bull
that's actually the
rapes
kind of
2-year-old.
That's the kind of porn that Kyle likes. Pit bulls raping babies. It's actually, he prefers the singer pit bull raping babies, which is odd, but that's what Kyle's into.
Oh, pit bull molest, attacks, rape. Jesus Christ.
No fucking way.
Molested and attacked toddler. A bizarre and disturbing story. And this pit bull in the picture looks so adorable. It looks like it would. Looks like she
a
wouldn't
dog
hurt a fly.
She just came.
So like a dog humped the baby.
No, the dog penetrated the baby, knotted the baby, which is when the base of the dog's cock locks inside of the whatever it's fucking, and was running around dragging the baby from its orifice with behind its with its cock inside of it, and the parents are chasing the dog baby hybrid at this point around.
After hearing
You
that
know what?
story,
I
I think
gotta-
Steve's joke of "that's the kind of porn Kyle's like" got even better.
Yeah.
I know.
Also,
Pit bulls, you were saying they're really, really common. There's Retrievers #1, German Shepherds #2, Retrievers Golden #3, and then just like right there at number 85 is Pitbull. As far as how common they are.
But again, that is the you just said anything that looks like a pit bull is a pit bull. So how many of those other dogs are classified as pit bulls by people who glance at them?
Over on Kyle's doghate.org website. You can't reference me in your pro pit bull argument. I'm just talking shit because I know it annoys you.
Well, that's the whole thing that people say about pit bulls, and my take is they're pretty hypocritical when they talk about pit bulls. They go, look, it's the person that trains it. If they train them bad, you're going to get a bad dog, and that's what. But then they insist that you adopt these things from a shelter. It's like, oh, so you want me to adopt one that's been trained by some shitty person that abandoned them and then gave him to a shelter? A pit bull, I would want to get. I would never want one. But I would want one as a brandy new, so you could train it and make sure it's being raised. You don't know what you're getting when you rescue a dog like that.
No, and so many of them will be like, we talked about this the other week, so I won't stay on it, but it'll be like, look at this beautiful lab mix, and it's like just not even close to a lab. It's got total pit bull face structure, a mouth. You could insert a whole dinner plate in its mouth and it wouldn't break. Like it could go right past it.
God, that's so funny. Yeah, lab mix. Oh yeah, mixed with a fucking Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a line about them that you said many years ago with their like shuffled jaw.
Bill Burr's got the joke where his girlfriend went and got the dog without his not permission, but like without him being part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
She's like, it's a pit mix, and he's like, it's a pit mix with what? Another fucking pit bull? It's a fucking pit bull.
And then he fell in love with the dog, and then he had a kid and had to get rid of it because he
just got rid of it straight up on pit bull reputation.
Well, yeah, because I don't think either of them wanted it around a kid. Because
he knew the dog, right?
Yeah.
Something tells me if it was cool, he'd be like, yeah, we'll keep it. But he probably knew this dog would snap at a kid.
Once you've seen your dog pull enough whole chickens off the kitchen table and sprint away with them so fast that you can't stop him before he wolfs off and down.
Now imagine that.
Maybe an infant doesn't belong in his household.
Imagine that chicken swaddled in a little blanket.
I think on his podcast years and years ago when he got it, he's like, it's great walking this thing. I know what it's like to have a gun now. Everybody's crossing the street, making way.
Oh shit. Yeah.
It's true. Yeah. If I have my little dogs on a leash and I'm at the dog park and I see a pit bull, it's like, yeah, we're not going in that direction anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not rolling the dice. Like my dogs fall off the back of the couch and they can get hurt. They're so little. That pit bull could
the front of the couch.
The front of the couch, honestly. Yeah, but it would just be too much to bear to see a dog attack my dogs.
Do those videos online fall off the couch very often? I just imagine they might.
It's one of them did it in the last week. Teddy, the 12-pound one, he fell asleep on top of the couch and fell off onto the wood floor behind it, and I just heard. Not a loud crash, but and then he's clearly panicked, but he's almost so little he hit terminal velocity well before the 4 foot fall, so he's gonna be fine.